What's going on, man? Welcome back to another episode, Politics as Usual. You know what it is, DJ J.Dough. And today, man, I got a special guest in the building with me, man. Somebody who I've been knowing for some years. And we go back to his rapping days, though. So I want to introduce to y'all, a lot of y'all may know him. Of course, the whole city know who he is. Y'all done been to the stores. Y'all wear the clothes. Somebody who's an entrepreneur, a business owner, creative director, man. I could go on for days, man. And also a father, man. Y'all show some love and make some noise for, I'll call him Macho Means, but you may know him as Means Cameron. What's going on, brother?
Bro?
What's up, man?
What an introduction, man.
Man, you know, did I do it right?
I mean, you perfect. You got my name right in there.
Yeah,
you know,
most definitely. Thank you for coming through, first of all, man. You know, like I said, I've been knowing you we go back to your rapping days. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know I was DJing for you for a while. And this was back in the days when I want to say Black Owned had just started. Yeah. Cause I remember selling them out the trunk. Yeah. I was coming to pick up the shirts from the trunk. I remember DJing for you, like, bro, throw this on.
Before the show.
Yeah, right before the show. So appreciate you for coming through, man. And starting off, I want to ask you.
Thank you for having me.
Most definitely, man. First off, I want to ask you. A lot of people may know you, but I want to hear from your words. Like, who are you really? Not just the brand and not just on Instagram and everything like that, but who is Means?
Yeah, man, that's a loaded question. I feel like I'm constantly evolving. You know what I'm saying? So to pinpoint myself to one specific thing over the time period that you've known me could be difficult. But there's some consistent themes in life. I feel like, one, I'm somebody who's always wanted to achieve excellence. And that comes out in everything that I do, everything that I am. I'm a family man. I'm a visionary, very passionate person. I'm just somebody that believes that, like, I can get a lot out of life, and I understand it requires me to put forth my effort and meet the universe at some point to accomplish things. But ultimately, I would say that I'm a passionate person fixed on excellence who really enjoys family.
Now, just from knowing you, I can see that, and I know I seen you opening day. And I told you, and I'll reiterate that again, that just from seeing your growth, bro, I'm proud of you, bro.
Thank you, bro.
I done seen the growth, and to see everything that you done accomplished over the years, everything that you done did, it's like, damn, bro, like, bro really did it. Like, he really did it, and he just took off with it. So definitely proud of you, most definitely, man. But I want to start from the beginning, man. Who was Young Means? And did you always have this entrepreneurial spirit about yourself growing up?
You know, I always had this leader thing about me. Ever since I was a kid, I always had something that other people gravitated towards. Like, when I would say this the direction we're going in, people wouldn't mind entrusting in that direction. And I noticed that as a young age, and I took it serious. And so Young Means was somebody who I always felt like I could lead other people. The problem was, you probably remember when I was younger, I was leading people doing the wrong things.
I wasn't gonna bring none of it up.
No, I mean, I think it's important that people know that, like, you can make a shift. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that you're less of a man or you're not accepted anymore in the places. If someone's not accepting you, then those are people you don't want to be around. But I think, Young Means was just this same version, but I hadn't figured out how to channel my energy and my emotions and my gifts. And it took me a while. I think it take all of us a while, to really hone in and believe in yourself even. Like, so Young Means was a leader, but then I had those thoughts in my head that, like, why me? What validates me? What makes me so special? And so even though I felt like I was a leader, there was always these thoughts in my head that would cause me to second guess myself. And so I would have moments of greatness But then I would self-destruct too because I didn't believe, you know what I mean? So, but Young Means was somebody running around Cincinnati. I grew up very urban. I mean, I knew a lot of people because I did music. Again, I always wanted to do something significant. I mean, like as a younger boy, I never knew exactly what I would do. I mean, like most kids from the hood, I wanted to play professional sports. But outside of playing professional sports, I never really knew exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah, now I know one thing, you did go to college. Just like me, we both went to college. And you could have went that route, like, you know, after leaving college, just finding a regular 9 to 5 and be like, yo, I'm set, I'm making money and all this other stuff. But what was the point where you was like, nah, I'm gonna go another way and just change up the game? What was the point where you was like, all right, I'm gonna go another way?
Yeah, that point was in college.
Yeah.
At Miami University.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
That's how a lot of us is in college. It's like, yeah, this ain't it. Like,
yeah. When I was in college and I went to Miami University, Miami of Ohio, and when I got to Miami University, I had this idea that I was changing the family. Like I was going to college, I was gonna get a degree, I was gonna have the best job in my family, and I was gonna be proud of that. I was gonna stand on that, and that was gonna be enough impact for me to lead the next generation. Specifically in my family, I didn't know that it was bigger than that. You know? And so I got to Miami University, and what I learned is that a lot of these families, they had ownership. And so where the conversation was, what are you gonna do when you graduate? It wasn't I was gonna go get a job. It was I'm gonna go work for my dad. He owns this. And
so you had that ownership instilled in you from young.
No, not from a young boy. Like I actually didn't grow up with anybody in my family that owned a business. Okay. And I didn't know any business owners growing up. I didn't really come into that until I became an adult. But I'm saying while I was at Miami University, I was in my, I guess if you count that as young, we getting old now, right, bro?
We unks now.
Yeah. Hey, what's crazy is I fucks with that. But I embrace it because, like, you know, you could be a cool unk to some degree.
I embrace it because, shout out to Lantana. Lantana made me really embrace being an unk, though.
Yeah, like you gotta think what it mean though. Like uncle is a big responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a big responsibility. But not to get sidetracked. Yeah. While I was at Miami, it kind of shifted. The question is like, when did it shift? It shifted at Miami. The people around me, their families were owners. And it seemed bigger. It seemed like what they were talking about is exactly what I wanted to accomplish in life. I just hadn't figured it out yet, which I wanted to put my people on. I wanted to be significant enough that whatever I did, it helped other people around me. I wanted to make enough money that I could take care of my family. I wanted to be impactful enough that my friends would benefit from my work. I wanted to go so far that people will remember and that I would have a legacy. And so I thought that I could do that through a corporate job, and which you can, you know, to some degree. But having ownership and setting the pace and doing something to that extent is a much better opportunity to have that type of impact. And since I learned about that while I was at Miami, this idea that I could do that started to brew. And when I graduated, I still didn't know that I was going to be an entrepreneur. In fact, just like everybody else graduating, I was trying to get a job, you know, filling out the applications. But I came out in a recession, and there wasn't a lot of jobs out there, especially for people in the marketing, because I got a marketing degree. And so it kind of forced me into this direction. And so, like, I didn't always know I would be an owner, but from my own experiences, it pushed me in this direction. And somebody said something to me once, or a motivational speaker was actually speaking at Miami. And he said, you'll know what you want to do in life when you see somebody else doing it. It'll just be like in you. It'll be eating away at you. And I started to come into contact with more entrepreneurs, and I knew like this the route I want to go. I just wasn't sure how I would get there yet.
Now, we went from when did you know that, when did you decide this the route you want to take, but when did you decide like, this actually might work?
when did I decide when Black Owned might work?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I decided Black Owned would work the first day that we all wore the shirts.
Yeah.
That was a big moment. You probably remember this day. For me, it's gonna always be a special day, special moment. But I knew it was gonna work after that night. The first night we wore the shirts was to the Mix, if you remember the Mix.
Yeah, I remember the Mix.
The Mix was crazy. Friday nights was a great opportunity to see everybody in the city. And so me and the guys, we decided we was gonna wear the Black Owned sweatshirt for the first time. It was printed on the Hanes. But 15 guys, black men in Black Owned shirts in their 20s, that feel different. It felt different. It put Cincinnati on notice. And the next day, we had a bunch of Facebook messages. I always say 50 because for some reason, something in my mind, I think I probably tried to count how many people had reached out.
Yeah.
But it was, it was a substantial amount of messages at the time of people like, how can I get this shirt? What is it? Is it an organization? Is it a club? And just because of it created that much interest, that much chaos even, people was like, what's going on? I knew we had something in that moment. But what you learn in business is you can have something great, but if you don't mold it right, it's not it.
That's a fact.
And so business isn't just having a good idea. It's having great execution, great strategy, great team, resilience, you know what I'm saying? Foresight, like being able to see ahead. And so like I don't think we really had all of that at the time, the full package, but we had enough.
I had a dream
to jump off the porch.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it don't have to be perfect. We had a dream. We had enough passion. We had what I say always, we had enough ignorance. Sometimes not knowing what you're about to go through is the reason why you're willing to go through it. And we had no idea what we was about to go through, but it's the reason why we jumped off.
Yeah, nah, that's dope. That's dope. Now, everybody see the success from, everything you do, from you had AB in your clothes, you had major celebrities wearing the clothes and shouting you out, fashion shows, to even opening the store, man. And one thing that I saw was dope. You had Vice President Kamala Harris come through the coffee shop. That was sick right there. And you dressed the Bengals players for the Super Bowl, announcing the pick from the draft, working with UC, FC. Wow. Out of everything, what was your most proudest moment? You done did a lot of shit, bro.
It's tough to say what my most proudest moment is. Recently, I've been working on being more present and appreciating what I've accomplished. I think when you start like us, man, it's just so far to go to actually achieve greatness. And so it's easy to skip over some of these wins and say, it's not where I want to be, so I'm not going to celebrate this.
Yeah.
But more recently, I've been like, nah, bro, like, this is actually amazing. You just a kid from the hood that had a vision that turned out to be something that has impacted thousands of people's lives and still impacting people today.
Yeah.
And man, so like, I feel like, the brand has really come a long way since we started. And I can't really like sit here without saying, like, I think God gave me this gift specifically because he knew I would care for it. He knew I would mold it and that I would make the best of it. And so like, I guess I would say the best moment is every time somebody orders something from the brand because it's a reminder that, we still impactful, that we still relevant in somebody's life. Somebody still see Black Owned as something worth having and something worth presenting. So the best moment is that, bro. Like every time somebody gets a paycheck that they gave a piece of their life for, and then they bring it to me and say, like, I want to give you this in exchange for something you created. That's probably the best moment over and over again. One of my highlights, though, I would say, certainly the vice president coming into the coffee shop, that was big, but I wasn't there. So I would say, my highlight probably, man, there's so many moments. But
you had so many moments, bro. You had.
Yeah, man, because they all hit like right at a specific time. But I would have to say like the moment of being on national TV, announcing a draft pick.
Yeah.
My son, my mom.
Yeah.
Out there watching me do this, and the whole city of Cincinnati watching me do it, and people knowing where I started, and then ending up on that stage in that moment, announcing the draft pick because I had designed a collection that had impacted so many people.
Yeah.
That moment came about, and so like that was a really big moment, man. That I was like, man, like bro, like you really out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and the fact that you played football and being able to be at the NFL at the NFL draft announcing the pick is like, damn, like I might not made it to the NFL, but hey, we here though.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Actually, that's exactly what I said. Like, you know, growing up, I just knew I was gonna play in the NFL. Like, we all think we that good.
Yeah.
And I didn't make it to the NFL.
But
Obviously.
you did though. You made it.
I did. I made the team.
Yeah.
Even like, you know what I'm saying, to some degree, because one, like you said, I had a bunch of Bengals players in on the campaign. We did 2 years of that campaign, announced the draft pick. I mean, we went out to LA for the Super Bowl, did a whole pop-up. And so in that period, it was like this my draft moment. Because I wasn't able to go the traditional way, but I found another way.
And that was a Super Bowl year.
And that was a Super Bowl. Well, let's be clear. It wasn't a Super Bowl year.
Okay.
The year that we launched the first Stripes Don't Come Easy campaign was 2020, and I think we won maybe 4 games.
Yeah. Okay.
But we like to say that because the Bengals partnered with Black Owned, those next 2 years was turned. It was like all we needed was, you know, to make that connection. But yeah, it's a big moment, man. Like when you think about Cincinnati, the first things you think about is the sports teams because it's a small city. And so for a brand called Black Owned, like not just to be a Black Owned brand, but like to be called Black Owned, and in order to address us, you have to address a bigger picture around ownership for our people. But it's next to the bigger label of an NFL or the Cincinnati Bengals or Sprite or BET or whatever else. And so like to continue to take the name Black Owned, which is essentially taking Cincinnati into new spaces, we get to do that for a living. You know what I mean? So it's been plenty of dope moments, but I would say the draft pick is probably up there as one of the top. But if we get to talking, about the Jeezy moments.
Oh, yeah.
Just some of these other moments that we couldn't believe because in that time, like these people were the biggest in the culture. So, but yeah, man, just grateful to have any of them.
Most definitely. Now we're going to be back, man. We got more with my boy Macho Means, a.k.a. Means Cameron, so make sure y'all stick around. Yo, we back, man. You know what it is, DJ J.Dough. My boy Means Cameron, a.k.a. Macho Means. What do you go by now? Because I see you, I always call you Means.
Man, I go by all the names.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm macho some days.
Yeah.
Some days I just want to be Means.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some days I'm Macho Means. But I feel like, you know, with all this going on, it ain't too bad to have a few names.
Yeah, that's a fact. Now we left off talking about your experience the pick with the Bengals. How was it working with the Bengals, and how did that all come about? Because I thought that was big for just the collaboration in itself. Like, damn near all the Bengals players had on Black Owned to the point when I seen Joe Burrow in a Black Owned jacket, I said, "Oh, it's up." It's up.
Crazy.
It's up. So how was that, and how did that come about?
You know what, man? It was a great experience because I learned so much. You know, not having an opportunity to go work a corporate job before starting my own business means that I've learned everything about business on my own and pretty much built my own pace of how I operate. But having an opportunity to work with some of these larger organizations, you learn what they're doing and how they approach projects. And so I had an opportunity to learn a lot, about how they go from start to finish on a project, and then even how they look at a project at the end. So I would say it was a great opportunity because I learned so much, and I've taken so much of what I've learned just from the Bengals and the NFL project, and I've applied that to almost every collaboration I've had since then. And so the Bengals project was a great project just because of that. And then when you think about being a small brand in the city of Cincinnati, you got Cincinnati, like we live here, so we think Cincinnati is the shit.
Yeah.
Like it feels major to us.
Yeah.
But really, we in the middle of nowhere.
That's a
There's
fact.
not a lot of motion going on in this city. That's gonna overflow or influence other cities, right? Like, and we've had our moments, but so to have the opportunity to be a brand from Cincinnati with a name like Black Owned and to go to the Super Bowl and get all of that media in that moment, I feel like we put the world on notice. Like Cincinnati was different. Like, wait, it's this brand called Black Owned out in Cincinnati, and it looked like they working with the NFL and the Bengals, and it's going well. And so I think just the media and the impressions that we got in that moment really elevated the brand and changed the perception even of how people viewed the brand and what we could achieve, as an out the trunk brand. So just a brand that started in the streets to grow and to have these larger collaborations. So I would say the Bengals collaboration was a great opportunity for us. We learned a lot. One of the things we learned was that licensing deals can be hard to make money. Just to be honest, it's like if you owe the NFL 25%, then what's left for you, really, right?
Yeah.
So I think we learned so much in that deal about how do we approach partnerships and what's a good partnership for us versus just because it's a big name. And so I made some great relationships out of that. Shout out to Elizabeth Blackburn, part of the Blackburn family, worked a lot with her doing that project, became really, good friends. And I'm appreciative that we had the opportunity to do that because, like, it's really the reason why I'm able to move how I'm moving now.
Now, with that led to partnership with FC.
Yep.
Led to the partnership with UC. And I thought the FC one was dope because that was not expected. I'm thinking, like, I don't know where you're going to go, but FC, I wasn't thinking about that. Like, and it switched from, like, soccer. Like, y'all had the store set up, like the soccer field and everything. So I thought that was dope. But one of Black Owned's mottos is culture, ownership, and legacy. But what does that actually look like for you outside of Black Owned?
Yeah, so the culture is just like us being able to exist as ourselves. And so when we talk about culture, we talk about Black people being confident in who we are and not just celebrating it when we in our own pockets. Like, to create the space to be, like, authentically us. Like, we talk about that, and you hear it more now than ever before. But in 2011, when we started Black Owned, not so much, So the culture is just like us having a place to exist and create and be ourselves and not ask for permission and for it to be raw and be rough around the edges and be authentic. I think that's the culture. So for me, that's just like living. Like waking up, being Black, and the experience as a Black man who grew up the way we grew up, trying to figure it out. We talked about trying to figure it all out. That's our culture. That's the culture, And so for me, it's putting on for the culture is me that I'm doing something that my people can be proud of. That within the culture is like, this feels like it's advancing us. It's giving us hope. It's giving us something more to build on. And so that's the culture piece. Ownership is the next piece. And there's so many layers to ownership. Like, when you think about ownership, the first piece is we think about, like, we want to own things, like, right? Like, we know that if we own things, then we get to make decisions around things. If we own things, then our families probably be better off. If we own things, we're a part of the history. They can't write us out because we had part in it. And for so long, we didn't have part in it. So they tell the stories how they want to tell the stories. But when we have ownership, we tell our own stories. And we tell the stories about the culture. And so for us, because we have ownership, we get to amplify the culture in a way that's healthy. Like, it's through our lens, authentically. I am the culture. And so I get to tell those stories. So ownership is important because we want to have a say-so. And we want to build wealth. And we don't always want to be fighting to survive. And I think ownership is the pathway to that. I think we want to own our communities. And that could sound like a buzzword or sound like hype, but I don't just mean physically owning the storefronts and the buildings, which is critically important. Yeah. I mean owning it in where we control the pace. And you hear me talking about the pace. It's like we have enough respect, we got enough communication, we broke enough barriers that whenever we have conflict, there's somebody that we can go to and hash it out. That's ownership. Like it take a lot of work to get there, but that's my vision. And so I know it's a big dream, but I dream that like we'll get ourselves together, that we'll be bigger, like, you know, that nobody is bigger than the program. Right. That we'll be bigger than our problems, you know what I'm saying? And that we have ownership of this. Like we clearly see where we want to be as a group, and we own that. And so like the culture piece is that the ownership piece, and then, you know, if we moving with this mindset, man, it's very likely we'll leave a healthy legacy. Like if I died today, I think people will say positive things about how I moved. As a business owner, as a man, as a father, we don't do everything perfect, obviously, but there's enough good that we've done that people will focus on that. That's legacy. You know, you could do enough bad that if you died today, people will only talk about the bad. And I feel like I've done enough good, and I pride myself on that I feel like I've done enough good. And that's my legacy, is that I've done enough good that it's not just about Black owned. It's about the people that I've mentored. It's about the people that never spoke to me, but I inspired them to get up and do something. It's about the people that felt like Black people can't achieve certain things, but this dude kind of make me feel different. And so it's not all on me, but I'm a part of that movement. I'm a part of the fabrics of any great Black person that you think of. I want to be in that conversation. And not because I think I'm them or I'm better, but because that's what I aim to be. That's the legacy piece. So I want people to remember the work that I put in, and I want that to be the legacy of my family.
That's real. Now, one thing, do you feel like, I want to rewind a little bit, going back to the George Floyd protest. Do you feel like I feel like, I'm gonna say this, Black Owned had a real presence in the protest here in Cincinnati because everybody was wearing Black Owned shirts at the protest. And I felt like that was super dope because it showed that not only people supported in more than one way, if it makes sense. Like, of course they supported your brand, but they also wanted to show like in support of Black people. With so many white people wearing Black Owned, everything like that. But during that time, I know your windows got busted. How did that make you feel, knowing that during such a important time and having Black Owned out so much during that time that somebody had the nerve to come in and bust one of your windows?
Yeah, you know what? It was a lot of Black owned during that time. And what that said to us is that, like, in the time of duress and when people felt overwhelmed, they needed something to feel like they had a voice. And we had created something that made them feel that way. And so, like, sometimes you can't articulate that. But when you see it, you get it, you feel it. It's like, this is why we created the brand. People felt like Black Owned was the right voice to have during this moment. And so we grateful for that. In terms of somebody busting a window out, you know, if you play the game, you get hit. You know what I'm saying? And so I can't say we thought too much on it, other than like, like somebody tripping. But it was a lot of emotions during that time. It was a lot of energy during that time. And so whoever did it, they had their reason. Yeah. I'm sure it was something crazy. But it's not one of those things that we got so many things going on. It's really just frustrating because the windows aren't cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's like, I'm mad, but I'm mad because, bro, like money ain't easy to make. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get on Instagram and you see all of this and that, but like getting up every day and making money is a thing. Yeah. So you spend a few thousand on a big window, you like, man, this could be something else. So I just think in that moment, like anytime something like that happen, I get fueled. Like it make me feel like I'm doing something right.
That's live though.
Like every time. Anytime somebody's gone against me in a weird way like that, it just make me feel like, man, like you really doing your job. I just not too long ago somebody sent me a post. Some guy was on Facebook having a fit about me. Somebody who I never met before. Yeah. And I'm reading the message and my mature self, like now I'm reading the message and I'm feeling sorry for him. Yeah. I'm not even angry. Like in my past life, I would have been angry. I would have been right to his DM, like, what's up? Like, you could have pulled up on me. Like, we could have talked about this face to face. Like, but really I'm feeling for him because I'm like, here it is, a man in his 40s making up stuff online, talking about a relationship or that he knows me, but we don't know each other. But two, like, if you really had this type of energy, why not reach out to me and let's make something good of it? But what it did was it reminded me, like, man, like people still, they watching, they care. Yeah, no, and not everybody can handle what they see as your success. And so, like, even in this moment, like this just recently happened, I got motivated. I'm like, because it's like, if you created Black Owned, or if you the reason why Black Owned exists, then one, as Jay-Z would say, why haven't you gone out and done it again? Yep. But two, if people want to have claim on what I've created, again, I did something right.
No, that's facts. Now, in the beginning you did you face any adversity of people, why'd you name it Black Owned, or even had an issue like with like white people saying like, can I wear it? Anything like that?
Yeah, man, 100%. I'm so glad you asked that question. Man, when we first started Black Owned, I mean, like, every day we had another conversation with somebody else. Sometimes
I heard it. I heard the conversation.
Sometimes Black people, sometimes white people, sometimes Asian people, sometimes Latino people. People could not understand why we would call our brand Black Owned. The Black people understood, which the brand was created to inspire Black people. You know what I'm saying? It was created with Black people in mind, nobody else. Yeah. But other people just couldn't understand. And to them, because it was the first time that somebody just put it right there in their face, it felt racist to them. It made them frustrated. So yeah, we got a lot of people calling the shop. We got people on Google.
Even now?
Well, this was in the beginning.
Okay.
Like now it's different. Yeah. Like every now and then. But for the most part, if you say something about Black Owned, our audience, our supporters, they gon' come to
you ain't gotta do nothing.
Yeah. They gonna say, yeah, you can't talk about this. Like, yeah. But in the beginning, there was a lot out there, like, people who were frustrated because the name was Black Owned, they couldn't understand it. But the one that was most shocking, well, I'll lead into this. So basically, yeah, there was in the beginning, a lot of people uncomfortable. But as they say, a good business will create that conflict. Yeah. It'll create that, and it did that. And so we knew we had something dope. And then the second part of your question is like, white people asking, can I wear this? And that was an interesting thing because in the beginning, you cool with the sound, right?
Yeah, it ain't go.
Right. Yeah, so a lot of white people used to ask, like, can I wear this? And we would always say is that like we created the brand to inspire black people. But the message is so big that we believe that anybody can wear it, especially if you believe what we promoting. That ownership in other communities are important, specifically our community. If you wanted to see that change, and you know what.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but I feel like that's why it was so important during the protest.
That's why it was so important. And so white people would ask, "Can we wear black on?" And we would tell them that. And we always welcome people in, but we wanted people to wear it confidently. So if you were somebody that wasn't confident in wearing it, we would say you shouldn't wear it. Yeah. Like we would say like only if you that brave, because somebody is gonna ask you, why are you wearing it? And you should be able to tell somebody why you wearing it. You know, like, well, I think Black Owned is doing a great job in Cincinnati, and it's bigger than just the black community because I'm a part of Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's great what they're doing. And I think as we started to tell people that, they started to get it. But really, it wasn't until Joe Burrow put that jacket on. Yeah.
Like even before Joe Burrow.
Yeah, we had white customers.
I want to say Mayor Avtab was rocking.
Oh, before Joe Burrow, Mayor Avtab.
Yeah.
I don't know if Mayor Avtab considered himself a white man. But what I will say, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Somebody like not a black man. Yeah. Mayor Avtab, we had some customers, like we had customers, white customers from day one who was like, this dope, can I be a part of this? Yeah. We're like, yeah.
But I think that's dope, but how do that make you feel? Like, damn, like, cause I didn't see so many white people and just people of other cultures wearing it, like out, like with nothing. I'm like, damn, that's live though.
Originally, I was conflicted, to be honest, because I didn't want black people to feel like something that was created that they were so proud about that they could be a part of was being taken from them. But there was also this piece of excitement, like, man, we created something called Black Owned. Like, so we're not hiding it. This is who we are. Yeah. And people still pick it up. And then not only did they pick it up, they had to pay for it. And so, like, it's really, man, a beautiful thing when you think about it. Like, we created this brand was birthed here in Cincinnati. It came out of a true experience, out of being urban, going to Miami University where it's 95% white, and living that experience and having the vision to be like, all right, this is how it was growing up. This is how it is at Miami. This is how I see it from here on out. Right. And that was the Black Owned vision. And so to have created that, and not only black people received it well and it had success there, other people were so intrigued. Yeah. Typically, anything like that would make everybody uncomfortable, right? Yeah. But we were doing such a good job in the city with connection that other races just felt like they had to be a part of it. And so, like, to some degree, some parts of it felt like one of those feel-good movies, like almost to the degree that Black Owned became a badge in the city of Cincinnati.
No, facts.
It's like, as a city, this what we have to offer. It's this thing that feels right. That sometimes we put politics aside, we put differences aside, and we don't always line up and feel equal here. But we have this thing called Black Owned that we all celebrate at times, and so it's just an honor to have created that. Like, as a kid, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I just knew I wanted to be significant. And so to have created this and it feels that significant that I see my Latino brothers like they Black Owned. Yeah. Bro, that's yeah. Come on, man. Like that's
Nah, that's lit.
It's lit, bro, because like for me it feels like, over here in Cincinnati, like we putting on for black people. We putting on for Black Owned and that whole mentality. And the people in our city that aren't black, some of them are coming with us. Some of them are showing that they have interests.
Yeah.
You know, like obviously it's a long pathway. And I don't think a brand like Black Owned solves all the issues. But look at how much positive flow we've created. And that gotta be worth something.
And how much y'all seen people come together off of it too as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy. Now
Different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
I mean, like you gotta think, it's not just the Bengals of the world, the Sprites. It's the niggas in. I mean, it's the niggas in Avondale. It's the niggas in Bond Hill, down the way.
Then you also got well, they ain't niggas, but the people in Mount Adams too.
Yeah, like you got all these different neighborhoods of people and culture shapers and street legends. All people who have nice Black-owned collections. And so like. I think what makes Black Owned such a beautiful story is that we've been able to touch so many parts of Cincinnati and still maintain this feeling of authenticity. Like where you feel like, man, I don't always go to Black Owned, I don't always buy Black Owned, but I feel like I'm always a part of it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's always one of those communities that I belong to. And people realize that almost every time they go to their closet, they like, damn, I got this, I got that. And I've seen you pull out pieces I forget that we created. I'm like, how did he keep these in this condition? You got pieces 10 years old, bro, 7 years, 8 years old, and they look brand new. And so just to think that when we started, we knew nothing about fashion. I knew nothing about owning a business, knew nothing about finances, knew nothing about paying sales tax and keeping my business registered and just all the different things that it take to run a business. I knew nothing about any of it, but here we are 15 years later, and I can gladly say that like I feel energized by Black Owned. And so we think about clothing brands and the lifespan is, 3 to 6 years, 3 to 7 years. And so for us to be on our 15th year, that's been the vision, to be significant and to become somewhat of a Ralph Lauren type of entity where polo pieces don't get old. You don't look at a polo shirt and be like, that's old polo, right?
Exactly.
But look at how many brands we do that with. So my vision has always been like, how can I inch my way forward to where people feel like any Black owned piece is legit and relevant at any time? Because it's not about the like specific piece, it's about what the pieces represent. And I think that's what Ralph Lauren did with polo, and that's what we're working towards at Black Owned. Like you could pull out a piece that's 10 years old and it's not that it's old, it's classic.
It's vintage.
It's classic.
Yeah, classic, yeah.
It's classic. It's classic because it's like, I'm proud that I've been along with the movement this long, not that I have a old piece, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's such a beautiful thing because though I created it, I get to share it with my city. Like I've shared it with you, I've shared it with Lantana, I've shared it with so many people, bro. Like many people. That,
even like being out of town, and I have a Black Owned jacket on. Someone like, yo, you bought that here? I've been looking for that. Where you find that at? And it's like, come to Cincinnati or go online.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that's dope, and it's also like a conversation piece, like where people like, what that mean, or something like that. But I feel like it's definitely lit when you go out of town and people recognize the brand too. It's not just in Cincinnati, even though it's based here. It's not just based in Cincinnati.
I think with the internet, we forget how hard that is to do.
Yeah. To
create something and people outside of your immediate bubble know what's going on. Like, see, on Instagram, it seems like it's just like you post something and the whole world know. You got people that happened for, but like think about all the people that's not the case.
No,
facts. So trying to create something and then you take it from inception or idea to like a thing where people know about it, they engage with it, it's part of their lifestyle, they got stories for you. People have had us design pieces for funerals, graduations, family reunions, like they want us a part of their life. And we want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Black Owned, man, it's a lot of stories, and at some point I feel like it could even be a dope Cincinnati documentary about how the brand came about and all of the things that we've achieved over the last 15 years.
Yeah. Nah, that's dope. Now speaking of that, over the past 15 years, one thing I've known about you, that you done had the same team around you the whole time. How important is your team to you?
I think man, like knowing what I know now, like having a solid team it's the only way. There's nothing about business that you can achieve by yourself. So while I get a lot of the interviews and I lead a lot of the direction, that's what a good CEO should do, is set the pace. You know what I'm saying? But it's the team that show up and help you execute, because you just can't possibly do everything on your own.
Yeah.
And so like early on, we had like a team of just young hustlers, like who was really wanting to accomplish great things. And it was new. You know, like imagine like at that time there were no clothing brands in Cincinnati.
Right.
You can't probably name one.
I couldn't name one.
And now we have thousands probably of clothing brands locally. And we probably have 20 of them that are thriving or doing good. Whereas back when we started, that wasn't the thing. And so our team, we took pride in that. Like we was, first. Well, we had a big message, but we also had, pieces that people wanted to wear. And so the team piece is just a big piece to accomplishing anything great. My team, like you said, most of my team was the same team for the first 10 years. It wasn't until the last 5 years that we started to just take on new team members and reshape, because like it's business. It's like anything else.
Gotta expand.
You gotta expand, for sure. And what we have to learn is that like business is just like, your favorite sports team. Like players come, they become a part of the culture. It's a real thing. They might help your team win a championship. You love them, but at some point they go play for another team. And I think that's just like business. Like the greatest people want to continue to climb high. And I think some of the people that I started with, they had other visions, and wanted to do other things. And so they branched out and did other things. I stayed with Black Owned. People like Tone, Black Owned Tone, because you got real estate Tone and Black Owned Tone. But Black Owned Tone, like we tap in regularly. Keenan tap in regularly. Like, these guys that we started the brand with, that, they still a big part of like a lot of the creative side and creative space. They just not here on a day-to-day basis. But any team, any business that you would think of creating at some point, you're gonna need a solid team to scale. Specifically clothing, because it's so intense. I know we didn't get to that part about the business side of clothing, but it's such an intense business that you need a team.
Yeah. Now, like you said, now let's talk about that. Now, one thing, a lot of people see all the wins and something about the business. I want to ask you, what is something about the business that almost broke you but made you sharper?
Man, I mean, something about the business that almost broke me that made me sharper. That's a good question. I mean, there's several challenges, but I would say like just the fact that as an entrepreneur you go broke several times.
Yeah.
And the first time you go broke is the most frightening, because you feel like you're losing everything that you've worked for. And the second time is not as bad, and the third time, but every time it happens, it's a reset. It's a reality check, that as an entrepreneur, it's not a safety net of having a corporate job or somebody that's agreeing to pay you no matter what. You really only eat if you go out and create it. And so I would just say, like, one moment that almost broke me is like, I think maybe like 2 years after opening our storefront, we went broke for the first time. The first 2 years was just like crazy out the gate. We was killing it. But then we changed our model from printing on blanks to like now we want to make our own stuff. And so our margins changed, and while we had better pieces, our margins were a lot tighter, which means we weren't making as much money. We was putting in probably twice as much effort, and so we weren't getting as far. And so we weren't able to adjust because we didn't have the systems in place to see it coming. And so that was a hard time because now we had all of this overhead. We had very little experience about the clothing industry, but now we weren't just in the clothing industry. Now we had an actual retail storefront.
Right. So now you got overhead.
Now you got overhead, but owning a brand and owning a storefront, those are two different businesses. And like a retail location requires its own thing. That
Staff, everything.
Staff, paper towels. You got to keep the floors clean. You need
Wi-Fi,
insurance, Wi-Fi, cable. I mean, the list goes on. You need to have a welcoming environment. You need to be able to constantly change that environment so people don't feel like it's stale and it's not worth coming anymore. Versus when we were selling out the trunk, nobody cared. We popped our trunk. I drove a Honda Accord, a 91 Honda Accord at that.
I remember that.
And so when I popped the trunk, there's rust.
Yeah.
My trunk probably ain't clean. The little burgundy carpet that's inside the trunk don't look good. Nobody cared because it was like we were trying. But the minute you show somebody that you like, you trying to one up, now there's a standard that they put in place that you have to live up to. Well, maybe you put the we put the standard in place. But yeah, like, man, like just running a business is far more complex than I could have ever imagined. And so to have succeeded, I would say, because like we don't measure business anymore just by profitability, which is important. You can't be in business without profits. But we measure by impact also. And we feel like we're consistently having impact.
Now, when it comes to business, like you said, you have those downtimes. Where you pull your inspiration from, and do you feel like you're more structured, or are you just going off of feeling when it comes to business?
That's a good question. In the beginning, it was a whole lot of feeling. It was very spiritual. Yeah. Almost all spiritual. Like my gut telling me that this is what I should do. And so like with that, I feel like that's how I knew I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, because I didn't have answers, but I was having success. And so that let me know that I knew I was in the right place, but I needed that still develop. And so we did a lot just off the feeling, but that's business too. For small owners like us, it's like you got to pay for your mistakes. In order to learn the game, you got to play, and you're gonna make mistakes, and hopefully you live to see another day. So we did a lot just off feeling, but like nowadays I have 15 years of experience, and I've had moments where I've worked with other people and I see how they do things and I add that to my toolbox. And so like now, a lot of what I do is calculated. A lot of what I do is because after doing it for so long, I do have skill set and I do have the ability to make sound decisions. You know what I'm saying? So there's still these times where it's off the gut and I'm learning. And so I think it's a mix of both. But I would say in 2026, most of it is experience and what I've learned and how I apply it. And I realize that like I have things that other people just don't have. And I'm grateful for that. Like, doesn't matter what they do. I'm me. I have what I have. And like once you really own that, you have ownership of that, I think that's when you become like your best entrepreneur self, because like that's it. Recognizing that your uniqueness is what make you a dope entrepreneur, not trying to copy or duplicate what other people are doing. While you can learn from other people, it's really how you move and how you show up. And I think people see me as unique. They see me as innovative. They don't ever say like Means was copying this or doing.
Yeah.
They say Means set the pace. Means did this, and then you saw it, here. So, in the beginning, a whole lot of gut reaction. Nowadays, is how much experience do we have? How much data do we have? Have we been here before? What did we do last year on the same day?
It's more structured.
It's far more structured now today than ever before. And the craziest piece is that I often feel like it's still so much to learn. But I also, when I get into conversations about business, I realize how much I know.
Now, you spoke about originality. How do you stay original and not follow the trends? Because it can be easy to follow the trends. And I remember back when people was copying Black Owned, like trying to copy Black Owned shirts. You go to a gas station, like, what? They ain't make that.
Yeah.
So how do you stay original and not follow the trends, though?
Yeah. For me, it's been pretty easy to be original. I think I would be ashamed to not be original. I think it would take away what I'm proud about if I wasn't moving as an original. I'm proud that I'm an original. I think that's where my confidence come from. Like that's who we were as a generation. Like me listening to Jay-Z taught me that I needed to have confidence in being an original. That's how you get ahead, is creating your own motion. And so it's been easy for me to be original because I try to make clothes that are part of my life. So it's either items that I want to wear. So what's more authentic than things that I want to wear?
Right.
Or it's stories that I'm attached to that I want to design pieces around. And so like it's easy to be original when I'm just focused on like what do I like that I can offer to the world through my brand? That's really what it is. And so I'm constantly I'm always inspired by what other people are doing. Like it's not necessarily a new idea that I'm always presenting, but it's a refreshed idea. Like taking something that's traditional on one garment, but using it in another way on a different garment. That's ways to be original, is to say like, this type of zipper pattern has never been used on this type of t-shirt or on
like
this
the
hat.
leather jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just trying stuff out like that, like the leather jackets, all these crazy zippers. And, so seeing things that have been done and asking myself, can I do it better? That's original. Because it's like, I built something different than what was existing. And now people see that as the new standard. Versus, I saw somebody do it, I'm gonna do the exact same thing and hope I have success. So it's easy to be original because eventually, if you're not, people catch on to you. It's easy to
point it out too.
Yeah, they'll point it out, but it's also easy to be original because we talked about creating a legacy. I don't think you can create a legacy if you're known for dubbing everybody else.
Right.
Duplicating everybody else. I think you earn a legacy when people see you as an innovator, somebody that came into the space and brought something new.
Now, my last couple of questions. What did success cost you?
Man.
That's a loaded question, huh?
That's a tough question. That's a good question, too. And I feel like I can answer that question in so many ways. But we could say, what does success cost me? I would say success has cost me a lot. A lot of success has cost me a lot. Cost me a lot of peace, a lot of sleep, friendships, stability, my right state of mind, mental health. It's cost me all of those things along the way. But then I would just flip it back to you and I would just say, man, like, what has success given me? And I would say success has given me new friendships. It's given me new meaning on life. it's giving me new vision on life. It's giving me the ability to understand what life is actually about and what success is. When I first started this, I thought success was making a lot of money and taking care of everybody that I love. And while I do consider that to be a form of success, I also realize that success is so much more.
Yeah.
Just deciding to have a brand called Black Owned, that was success from day one. But on day one, I didn't see that. And so I have to tell you that success is giving me that vision, like giving me that understanding. Success has forced me to want to find peace. Success has forced me to grow up and realize that it's not just about me because other people are watching.
Yeah, that's real.
My success means that now I'm a light. And so I can't just move anyway. And so success has given me probably far more than it has taken away from me. And it will probably continue to give me more as I go forward because of what we see success as. Like, this is success.
Yeah.
Like, imagine living your life and you putting all of your effort into something and nobody cares to talk about it. Nobody pays attention. It's not relevant enough that it has had any impact. But I'm here with you today because you, as a tastemaker here in Cincinnati, a big voice and brand yourself, you like, I'm gonna sit with Means. That's success.
Yeah.
Like, and so we have to realize, like, you know, we need realistic definitions of success. And to get to this point, it has come with a lot of work. I have cried, I have went broke, I have lost my friends, I have lost loved ones. I've lost people who I really cared about that I wasn't spending time with because I was focused on the business. And so, like, entrepreneurship is gonna cost you so much. But you're doing it because you have to have the faith that you're gonna have gains as well. And I think I love the gains that I've had, and it took me a while to get to this point, bro, to realize that, like, I'm winning, you know, and it's hard for us to say that. It's hard for me to say that sometimes, like, I'm winning. You almost feel guilty, like, but damn.
You think you
like,
feel guilty because you think you got so much more work to do and you haven't accomplished what you might want to.
Yeah,
like that
I think
final goal.
Yep, I think that's part of it. But again, training myself to not be focused on like where I want to be, but like what have we done already? But that's part of it. Like, it's that part that, like, man, like this ain't where I see myself. Yeah. This ain't the end goal. But it's also the other side of that.
And I think anybody who's successful in whatever it is they're successful in can agree to that, because it's so much that I done sacrificed, and just being a DJ, radio personality. So anybody who's successful can relate to that.
I think a big piece too, though, like, I want to put this out there, like, I've sacrificed, like, being an entrepreneur, I've sacrificed a lot of just me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas I've made myself synonymous with the brand and almost forgot about, like, the other side of me, because I'm not just Black Owned. So, like, you know, you met me, I was a music artist. Like, the brand became so big and it moved so fast that my focus became Black Owned. Then I started a family and I needed to focus on Black Owned. Like, you know, haven't had figured, like, not figuring out how to make money off music. It's like, I gotta
find out other ways.
I gotta find other ways. And so, like, I dived deep into Black Owned, and really, I never really thought about myself or like how I felt. What I thought about was, how far could I take the brand? How successful could I be? Not realizing that, like, the amount of energy that I was giving to Black Owned, I should have been giving myself that exact amount of energy. But as a youngin', I didn't have the right people around me to pour into me that did the business thing, that could tell me like, this what you should be expecting, this how you should look out for yourself. I think the uniqueness of where I started in 2011, almost none of my friends were entrepreneurs. If you look at Cincinnati back in 2011, there was very few entrepreneurs, right?
And I think the ones in our age group, a lot of them was party promoters. And,
there was like party promoters, but like actually owning a product that you sell on a regular, we didn't have a lot of people like that. And so there was a lot of criticism. There was a lot of ignorance about what business actually was, and a lot of people who wanted to chime in but really didn't have the experience. And so that was hard on me because now I'm new to the space myself. I got the whole world watching, or what felt like the whole world, but really it's just Cincinnati. I had the whole Cincinnati watching, and everybody wants to, comment and have input, but they don't really know what it takes. But it was such a moment worth watching that everybody felt like they needed to chime in on it. But 15 years later, almost all of my friends have owned some business. Even if they've closed it down or whatever, almost everybody that we started with has owned some form of business and tried to do something on the side. And I think it's giving them a new respect for what
you do. They understand.
Yep. It's like, Means probably still got on my nerves at some point, but like I get it now. Like all of this every day, 24/7. And so like I mentioned, like clothing is very intense. And so when we got into it, it sounds like fun because like what you think about is like, man, if people wear my stuff, I would be cool. You like a rapper, you part of the culture or whatever. When we first got into clothing, it seemed like the perfect thing to do. It seemed cool. It seemed like a way for me as a music artist to still be a part of the culture, still be a part of hip hop culture. Fashion and hip hop, they go hand in hand. What you don't realize is that fashion is constant. You got it never stops. Never ever stops. Like, so I've been running 15 years.
Cause you gotta do a fall line, winter line, spring line, summer line.
Every season. And it's not like.
And y'all drop every season.
Yeah, we drop you have to. Like, it's not that we prefer that, it's that we have to. And now, so business is changing and you can kind of shape your business the way you want now. And I've even been thinking about different models where we communicate to our audience that like, we're not like the traditional clothing brands. Because it is too intense, and we prefer work-life balance now. Like we think better now. Fashion is intense. These big clothing brands, think about how many garments, how much money they're dumping into garments every season. And they're not making summer clothes in the summer. They're making summer clothes in the winter so that they can be ready in the summer. And so they got to have the budget in the winter to make stuff for the summer that they haven't sold yet, right? And so...
And a lot of it they might have to sit on until the summer.
I mean, like they try to time it as much, as best they can. But with distribution, you have to leave time to make it, get it distributed to different retailers and so forth. And so clothing is intense because like you got to come up with new ideas every season, every year. And then you got sizes, you got extra small to 4X, you got colors, you got fits, you got fabrics. There's so many variables. The biggest one being that it takes a lot of money to keep a fresh inventory, to keep designing and constantly going from one season to the next. And so like 15 years in, I'm like, man, it's intense. Clothing looks like fun because on Saturday night when we at the club, and 20 people got on Black Owned jackets, damn right, we turned. We like, I love this shit. But Monday through Friday, I'm also in a 12-hour grind because there's a marketing plan that's attached to that garment. There's a design and production files, and there's inventory. There's, just pricing. There's so many different variables, tags, labels, Instagram posts, tone, like everything that goes into one piece. You have to do that time and time and time again. And so for all my young people who want to be clothing brand owners, I'm often torn because I'm excited because I know how much excitement it can bring, but I also know how much structure this specific industry needs to have success, and it's a lot.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, it's a
Now,
lot.
I got a question I want to ask you. These my last 2 questions, man. What happened with the opening day jerseys before opening day?
You know what? Man, that's crazy. That's crazy that you asked me that because, like, I was wondering if we was going to tell people what happened.
Yeah.
And we weren't because, like, all right, so
Because we talked about it opening day.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, see, I don't even remember. We was lit on opening day.
We was.
All right, so just to give you context for opening day has become major in the city of Cincinnati. Probably the last 5 years. It's just became something else. And so we feel like when you get these moments that's given to you, you should be a part of it. We never dropped the opening. We never had an opening day drop. So this year, we like, it has to be. Like, it's too many eyes on opening day. We got to be a part of it. So we like, well, not just any garment. It has to be something that has meaning, that tells a story, that feels like Black owned. So we did our research. We come up with this idea to create a jersey honoring a Negro League team that had origins here in Cincinnati that went on to do great things in Cleveland. Whole concept, fire. We designed a jersey. We in love with the jersey, and we like, this gonna do well. And we get the jersey produced, and we get tracking, shipping. Because once you put the item in production, the way it works for us, once we put the item in production, we schedule the shipping. And so we knew the jerseys was coming, but like in a tight timeline where we were gonna get the jerseys 2 days before opening day. So we dropped the jerseys with the confidence that the track 2 days before opening day. So opening day is Thursday. On Tuesday, check the tracking. It's like on Saturday before opening day. Sorry, on Saturday before opening day, check the tracking. It's like jerseys arriving Tuesday. We celebrate as a team like we did it. We put all this work in. We punched down. Our manufacturer met the deadline, and they gonna get here, and we finna kill it. Because we knew we had something. With the storyline and the garment, it's not just a jersey. It was gonna do what it needed to do. All the way up until the day of that the jerseys were supposed to arrive, it was still showing arriving. Until the time that it was supposed to arrive, which was around 3:30. I checked the tracking, and it said items are still in Pakistan.
Pakistan?
Yeah, so you gotta
Damn.
Right. You gotta understand the feeling that I'm having.
Yeah.
So after I checked the tracking on Saturday, I tell my team we're pressing the go on this. So let's send the email out. Let's give our email subscribers first dibs. Let's send let's go ahead. Let's run the campaign. So we run the campaign with confidence that it was coming. And we posted it, and we sold out of all the jerseys within 24 hours.
Damn.
So the jerseys were sold out before they didn't come. So now we got a dope item that's sold out that we proud about that. And you're gonna see it on opening day, and everybody's gonna be like, okay, I saw it.
I got my fit opening day.
Right, I got the people who got it are like, I got my fit. The people who see it, like, how did I miss it? I need to be a part of the next wave. Well, on the day they were supposed to come, we found out that the jerseys had got stuck in the Middle East.
Damn.
Between the war.
I was just about to say that. Should have had Tone pick them up while you
Man, we could have had Tone Black go pick them up. Like, dang, but so we sent the email to our subscribers. Luckily, we didn't do a general release because I feel like it could have got messy. We sent the email to our subscribers like, this is the scenario. It's unfortunate, but you are one of a limited item. You're secured the item. Can we count on you to keep this item? of all the jerseys that we sold, only 2 people requested a refund.
Damn.
And so we processed those refunds, and then we put the jerseys online, and they immediately sold.
Yeah, because I went to go try, so...
The funny thing about it is the 2 people that asked for a refund, when the jerseys got here, they reached out, like, can I buy the jersey? And me being me, because we made the mistake, I wanna stand on that. I was like,
that's
man,
real.
Let me try to make this happen. So I was trying to move stuff around, but it turns out that I wasn't able to make it happen because every jersey was accounted for. But it's just one of those moments. But that's retail. That's business. Like, I could tell that story and be ashamed.
That's a good problem to have, though. Like, I mean, bad that the shipping got messed up,
Absolutely.
But you sold out of them before they even hit the racks.
Before they even hit the racks, we sold out the jersey. Now everybody got their jersey. Like, the jersey came. The thing is when it landed and we opened them up, we like, oh yeah. Nobody's gonna be mad about this. Like, we got us one. And so, like, man, we missed the moment though. Like, that right there in business could be something that can kill you. Like, in small business, you don't get a lot of opportunities. Right? Luckily, we've built a brand, and we believe we could create bigger moments. But like, as a small business, I do feel like you gotta take advantage of those moments, and you can't miss. And when you miss, it's costing you more than it's costing everybody else. Because again, what would it cost us to get that many people out, right? To see our brand. Like, it would cost us millions to reach that many people, to be a part of that type of environment. And so we spent it, and when we said the jerseys ain't here, so let's just focus on creating mystery. So now nobody's seen the jersey. Nobody knows what it looks like. That's what we running with. Let's keep them on their toes.
So did the people who are on the email list, did they see a picture of the jersey, or they just seen that, hey, they dropping, I'm copping?
Nah, they saw a picture of the jersey. See, what we did was we sent the email out to our loyal subscribers with the story, with the picture of the jersey, like everything about this campaign. We sent it out to them. We wanted to test it out on them, one. And the response we got was great. But also, we feel like they deserve first dibs. Because they loyal. They open their email for us. And we also felt like, from a business strategy point, how do you go back to that time where people would be waiting outside the Black Owned store for the drop? Well, you can't always play the numbers game. Sometimes you're gonna make 500 or something, but sometimes just make 100. Just make 75, you know? And so, like, by doing that, you create this scarcity, you create this moment around the brand where everybody's talking about the jersey, but everybody don't have the jersey. Right. And so that's exactly what we wanted to do. And so, while it wasn't the best case scenario at all, you still got to figure out how to turn it into a positive. And so, in the moment, you like, all right, we got to do better. Our systems have to be better, where despite the war, which this case, it was out of our control. If there wasn't a war,
they would have been here.
We would have got them. The package, as we saw later, it missed 11 flights.
Damn.
11 flights my shipment was supposed to go on, but it didn't go on because those flights were canceled. But you think about, like, all right, this is something we want to try to fix in the future. And how do you fix that? Again, we talk about fashion being intense. You have to be months ahead with all of your ideas, right? And that's hard to do because we're constantly going. But right now, I think, like, the jersey is going to be something that people are going to be wearing, and other people will continue to talk about. And the next piece we drop like this, it'll sell out quickly. Because
so it ain't going to be a reloaded drop?
A restock? No. Nah, because then that would dilute this whole thing. Like, it would dilute the work that we put in on this. So now what we do is we, like, you'll never see this piece again. And so that whoever got it, the value of that piece goes up. And we treated it like that. Like, first time we ever had a piece that came in a custom garment bag, it came with the storyline as a part of it. you know, it came with some other gifts and perks. But we really trying to like change. If we're gonna be a brand where we're not like constantly trying to drop new things, we have to find ways to engage our customer differently.
Right.
So that when we drop, we do sell out. Like we can't sit on a product if we want to be a brand that's not constantly working, you know, or not even working, but just like feeling like we're behind the gun.
Now, my last question before we get up out of here, man. Will we ever see Means back in the studio? Man. I've been trying to get you in the studio. And the last time I asked you this, you like, man, I ain't in the mood. I ain't in that space right now. I'm like, man, come on, a freestyle or something.
Nah, you know what's crazy, man? When you were asking me that, mentally I wasn't in the right place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was going through a lot. And whereas some people, when they going through a lot, they make good music, it actually stole my creativity. I just, when you're not happy, it's hard to create.
Yeah.
And so like music was the last thing on my mind when you think it would have been the first. It felt like something that I didn't know how to do anymore. But like I would always think about it. Like I would be like, what if I just went on there and just dropped something and people like, this nigga like
like he still got it.
Like how do bruh like do all of this, but also how this rap, you know, like this. And so will they ever see me again? I think absolutely. Yeah. Because like
I like to hear that, man. I like to hear that,
music
man.
is just, it's one of those things, like it's a great expression for me. And I love hip hop, like everything about it, like the confidence that come in it, but also the ability to be able to tell stories without having to gossip. You know, like And so hip hop is great. Like it's the reason why we have Black Owned. And I think at some point I'll be doing music again. Like what I will tell you is I went years without creating anything. Like not one voice note. All my people, they know, like you could be out with me at a restaurant and then I like a verse or something will come and I might record it. I hadn't done that in years. Like I'm doing that again.
Oh shit.
So like,
so you got some unreleased verses in the phone?
Oh, I definitely, yeah. I got unreleased music.
Oh.
Like last year sometime I had played maybe like 20 songs for Tone Black. Like just sitting in front of the Black Owned store. And these are songs from 2017.
Damn.
And 2018.
Yeah.
And I hadn't listened to him in a while, but I played him for Brian. He like, man, you
get
crazy. Like, bro, like why you ain't put this out?
Yeah.
In that moment, I was overthinking it. But at some point, man, I think I will drop music, but I don't think it's gonna be just like how I did it in the past. Like it was like, oh, I got an album coming. It's gonna be because I have something to say, or I'm working on a special project, or I found a way to tie it in to something else I got going on, or there's a chapter of my life that I want to just like highlight. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But as far as like rap music though, the culture, that's a tough culture to be a part of and be a family man. Yeah. Like if you remember, we would spend all day in the studio. We would get to the studio 5, 6 p.m. and not leave until 6 in the morning.
I remember you would pull over my house and we'd be rehearsing for like hours. Next thing you know, it's nighttime.
Yeah,
like.
So when you got a family and you trying to be there for your family, that creates conflict. Yeah. And so like when that's your only way to make money, it's understood. But like I had Black Owned, which was taking a lot of my time. You throw music in the mix and the culture with that, it was challenging. It was a lot. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just I wasn't feeling good. It's just like it was a lot. And now I'm feeling much lighter. So I feel like, I don't know when, but I feel like within the next, year, I'm certainly dropping something.
Just like a verse at least.
And what I might do, I might just come up here and be like, bro, like put me on your show, bro.
Yeah.
I got 40 bars that I just want to set up and just like let it rip.
Yeah, Hov don't drop consistent. He drop when he got something to say real quick. And hey, he out. He gone for about 3-4 more years. Like.
And the reason he does that because he know like when I say something, I want it to really matter. Like, some people, they got a lot to say. Like something every week, new song, but that's the model that they working under. Yeah, I feel like when I drop in though, bro, it's so much that has happened.
Yeah, you got a lot to talk about.
I do, and sometimes like, man, where do I even start? But yeah, music is fun, man. Music
I feel like you want to, man, because it brought a smile on your face. You like, yeah, man, I might.
I love, man, creating. I mean, that's just another form of creating. You know what I'm saying? Like creating music that people listen to again, and it becomes a part of their life. Like in the era when I was doing a lot of music, you know, like I was one of the few local artists that could sell out venues. Like, you know, like we weren't backed by nobody, no promoters or nothing. It was just like us and the music, and people was coming out and they were singing the songs word for word, and it was part of their life. And so like, man, ain't nothing changed really. We just changed the industry. Yeah. But what we do at Black Owned is very much like what we was doing with the music. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was giving people perspective, another way to look at this shit. Yeah. You know, and so I don't think necessarily the work has changed. It's just the way we doing the work has changed, which is why I haven't felt so urgent to drop anything. But at some point, the music will come. And for all the people who are true fans, like, I hope they enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think once I drop the next one, that might be like
that's gonna be your 444.
Yeah, that'd be like, all right, this my contribution. And from here on out, you might get a verse or I might show up on something. But to be honest, like, I don't want to live a rap life. Yeah. Like, it's not attractive to me the way that it once was for many reasons. But I just love music.
Yeah. I think now it's just more like doing it just like, not saying that you're going to be out here like, oh, I need a record deal or nothing like that, but it's just rec. Like, a lot of people go to the gym and hoop. They ain't got hoop dreams. They ain't like, yeah, I'm about to go up here. I'm about to play for Golden State next week. Like, nah, it's just some rec, man.
It's just rec. And the fact that people still ask me. Yeah. Like, my last tape was in 2017. The last tape that I dropped, 2017. That's 10 years, bro, almost. We 8 years. We what? Yeah, we 9 years.
9 years.
Now almost 10 years, and people still like, bro, like, you ain't ever gonna drop no music. So again, like, that let me know, like,
you got the audience for it.
I got the audience.
They waiting.
I got the audience. The thing is though, like, after so long, people think they want something. Yeah. And then they hear it, and maybe it's different. Music is so different. It is. Man. Rap is so different. It is. The way we digest it, the way we appreciate it is just way different now. And so I always feel like, man, if I get back in, like, the passion that I had and what I thought I was contributing, that's really not what's going on now. And so I gotta find a new approach to an old thing.
Nah, that's real, bro. Before we get up out of here, you got anything that you want to let the people know? Tell them where they can follow you at, where they can catch up with you, website, all of that, man.
And you know what I want people to know, bro? I want people to know, man, like, a lot of people think of me probably, I want people to know, like, that, you know, Black Owned has been a brand that came out of the city, and people might look at me as mysterious. They don't know, they haven't had their own experience with me. They've seen the brand. But I really just want people to recognize, like, man, this is, Black Owned is Cincinnati. Like, it's ours. And we, as a unit, we often say we want things. Like, we want representation. Black Owned is representation. You know what I'm saying? And so many other people have come behind that now. And I love that. So I just want people to know that, like, we feel like we still have a finger on the culture, and we feel like we're ready to, you know, collaborate and continue to elevate Cincinnati to move into that next chapter. And so business has definitely been tough, and we've learned a lot about it, but I think it's worth it. And so I want people to know that, you know, business is worth it. Like, it's worth doing it. Like, there's that question mark there for so many people. Like, man, like, can I do it? It take work like anything else, but it's worth it. Because I get to do this. Like, I'm here late.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With you, when maybe if I was working, you know, a steady gig or something, like I gotta make different decisions and things, but like it really is worth it. So I would say I want people to know that, like, man, there's so many ways to slice entrepreneurship. I think this is where I go with it. I want people to know that there's so many ways to slice entrepreneurship. It doesn't come in one size, one package. It's like any other sport where different players got different styles, right? And all of it can be entertaining. All of it can be successful. And don't let anybody tell you that you got to do it a certain way in order for it to make sense. It's not true. There are ways that have been proven to be successful. That doesn't mean you have to do it that way. Yeah. And so I would want people to know that we did it a very unorthodox way. We had no map to get to where we are now, but here we are. You know, and that's what I want people to know. Like, we would rather you have it together when you start, but in case you don't, we proof that it can still work out.
Nah, that's real. That's real. I'm telling people where they can follow you at, where they can come shop at, website, all of that.
Go see us on our website, blackowned19xx.com. I think that's always a start. Sign up for the newsletter. That's the way.
That's the way, obviously.
That's the way to get access. I mean, that 24-hour early access on all drops, it come in handy. It's like, all right, I get to see it before everybody else. So sign up for the newsletter. Follow us on Instagram. Engage with our page. Like, you know, drop a comment, show some love, and then pull up to the shop. Like, you know, we downtown. It's not a lot of black activity downtown right now. It's not a lot of black businesses downtown. Yeah. So pull up 822 Elm Street. We've been there since 2014. One of the longest standing black operations in the city with this type of energy. And so pull up on us, come see us. Shoot me a message on Instagram. I'm always, man, I communicate with almost everybody. I share as much game as I can when I can.
Nah, facts. Means, I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you for having me.
You know what it is? Politics as usual. DJ J.Dough, Macho Means Cameron. We out.